Well, it has been about a year since the Biden administration's release of its Indo-Pacific strategy, with tensions between the U.S. and China showing no signs of abating. And as the U.S. continues to deepen security ties with allies like Japan and South Korea, it's also pursuing closer relations with other countries in the region, such as Nepal. It comes amid a change of government in Kathmandu, with the new prime minister seen by some as friendly towards Beijing. Jagruti reports.
A community building connections across two continents. This fundraiser in the US state of Virginia is for mental health programs in rural Nepal.
The Health Foundation Nepal is a non-profit organization registered here in the United States as well as in Nepal since 2013.
The organization has a history of supporting Nepal through difficult times, raising $130,000 following a devastating earthquake in 2015. The US government provided millions of dollars in humanitarian aid following the quake, but it's also focusing on investing in Nepal.
MCC project, the Millennium Challenge corporate program, that is also one of the latest program that US is conducting in Nepal.
The $500 million Millennium Challenge Corporation is an infrastructure project developing roads and facilitating cross-border electricity trade between Nepal and India. It was signed in 2017 and ratified by Nepal last year. The scheme has faced criticism from China, who accused the US of coercive diplomacy. The MCC also initially faced opposition from the former chair of the Communist Party of Nepal Maoist Centre, Pushpa Kamal Dahal, but he later voted for its ratification. Dahal is now the country's new prime minister and is viewed by some in both Washington and Delhi as a pro-China politician. In the last 2 months, senior officials from the US State Department and USAID, Victoria Nuland and Samantha Power, have visited Nepal, keen to step up Washington's influence there. They announced new investments, including more than $1 billion over the next 5 years in clean energy and a grant of nearly $60 million to strengthen civil society. Beijing, for its part, increased its foreign direct investments in Nepal with a $115 million injection of funds last year. Add India into the mix, and the new Nepalese government finds itself trying to balance relations with 3 nations, each with their own competing interests.
While the energy agreements are there between India and Nepal, implementation on the ground has been a challenge because India talks about not allowing Chinese built power plants to supply energy into India and beyond.
Washington hopes blossoming ties with the Indo-Pacific can help it compete with Beijing in the region. But many Asian countries say they don't want to be forced to choose between the United States and China. A Nepalese-American lawmaker I spoke to here in the state capital of Maryland echoes the White House and says Nepal is free to make its own choices. But he argues there are benefits to greater alignment with the United States. Delegate Hari Bhandari was the first state lawmaker of Nepali origin to be elected in the US. He's represented the state of Maryland since 2018.
Nepal's and United States relationship is based on peace, economic prosperity, and human rights.
Much of the Nepalese diaspora in the United States feel a strong connection to their roots. And back at the fundraiser in Virginia, this community hopes to strengthen those ties by improving health and education opportunities in Nepal, away from the delicate dance of geopolitics. Jagruti, CNA, Manassas, Virginia.